All right, so right here I have the Advanced Technology International rail. This is the 15-inch variant with the FS8 nose cone. We're going to be taking a look at this real quick. Before we coat it, these come stock black with a nice parkerized finish. This is a magnetic box.
Fancy.
Yep.
Shows quality.
I thought so. Okay, so this is the rail section itself. Like I said, 15 inches. It has a slotted barrel nut, which is a little bit different than your standard barrel nut. And it kind of threads all the way up to this first port. So you can see right there. There's a lot of threads on that sucker.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. This is the FS8 nose cone, as I mentioned earlier. So that is what that'll be like.
Thing looks mean on the end of it.
Yes, and that's for attachment, or for sticking into
people.
No, for like walls and stuff. But anyway, walls and other things like that for stability. We go a little bit deeper here, and all of the rail attachments, things like that, are all on the bottom there. So as you can see, you've got a couple pieces of short rail, a long rail for the top or bottom, a couple pieces of rail there.
That's impressive.
Yeah, so that is the ATI. We are going to go ahead and we're going to coat this up, but the reason that we're doing this is we're going to be lightening up a rifle. Let's go check it out. So, for a long time, this sucker has been heavy. We built this a couple years ago, and we built it for a specific purpose, which was ranged kind of precision, and I think that we can lighten this up significantly. So we're going to go ahead and coat that rail up and get it on this thing.
Cool.
So some of the areas that I've identified as like really big problems for weight on this gun are the gas block, and another big one is this rail. This is a YHM rail, and it's pretty beefy. It's pretty heavy as far as quad rails go. So as I mentioned earlier, we're going to be going with this ATI rail system here, and there's a couple of reasons that I chose it for this basically diet of this rifle. And one, it's slimmer. You can see that it's dimensionally smaller than the quad rail that's on there now. But the rail that I was going to go with was one of these alpha rails. So I actually did some research online, and it turns out that the ATI rail is a few ounces lighter than its complement in the Alpha Series rail from Troy. So the other thing that I decided that I really didn't like about the Troy Alpha rail system was if you look at this rail system, the rails attach via brackets. I'm not entirely sure if you can see the brackets in there or not, but basically you can put a rail wherever you want on this, a section of rail, and it clips into a bracket that has screws that are driven through it. And I found that system to be a little bit cumbersome and hard to use as far as optimizing rail positions. So the other thing that's nice about this is each one of these ports that you see on this rail is individually drilled and tapped. So you don't have a bracket that you have to place behind this rail to then screw through and tap into. So I can stick a piece of rail on here, and my screws are drilling directly into the rail system itself. I have a variety of rails over there that we're going to get to, but first off we're going to go ahead and rip this thing apart. So this ought to be fun. This tight.